I've been trying to find out how much water a taconite plant uses, and so I can't find that out. I hear either that it's like a radiator or 1 million gallons a day, so it would be nice if somebody could do it independently find out, not from Gtac, but how much the taconite plant uses, because high capacity wells, you know, that could be a big issue for us in the future.
As far as the amount of water that the mine was going to use, Maureen, I think it was depending on how much evaporation and loss, because if they're going to keep on recycling, you're reusing the same water over and over, just replenishing the supply of whatever evaporates as it's being used. So I don't know if anybody can really give you an actual amount.
Yeah, I've heard that, and then I've heard up to 1 million gallons a day. And so I tried looking what taconite plants up in Minnesota, but I guess it comes down to if we're going to have high capacity wells up there, and where that water, where that's going to.
I don't have an answer for you on that. I don't think anybody does right now. We'll ask them.
They're talking about running a line from Upson to North Ironwood. North Ironwood wells can pump water for probably a city of Duluth or even bigger and not run out. Endless water supply there.
So who's going to pay for that?
They
They will.
That was worst case scenario. If they didn't get enough water supply, they were willing to do that at their expense. They already signed the contract down with the city of Ironwood to supply them.
So what worst case? So the other water would come.
If they find out that they couldn't get enough water supply there, they would pipe the water out to there. Once they do all the well monitoring. But I believe they were talking about a storage tank of their own and just reusing it. You're not going to be using $1 million gallons every day. You won't be losing that much.
The mining, when I went to Minorca Mine in Virginia, they used, they didn't have a total number they used, but they did have 70,000 gallons a minute process. They cleaned and returned to the fat manufacturing process. 70,000 gallons a minute.
Recycling it?
Recycled and returned and put right back into the process.
So the actual amount isn't.
Yeah, I didn't have a total amount, but the wastewater treatment plant that they had there.
So I think the only number that I know is 4% loss. So 4% of that would be. So I guess somebody would have to figure that out, and I don't think an endless supply of water is in Ironwood. So I guess I would hope the zoning committee would think about high capacity wells.
What is the anticipated daily volume water extraction for the mine? Can you touch on that?
I don't know if we had an answer for you. A lot of the equipment that we have to decide is done by companies that develop separators, and each one may differ, and you may pick one that's a lower water consumer or one that's a lower price but consumes more water. So what we would say is that that information is available through the manufacturers of the separator, but what we do know is that water is used primarily as a transportation device within the plant. And once you have it started, it just pulls material from point A to point B, discharges that material, goes back and picks up more material, moves on. When you go into pelletizing, You try to shoot for a 10.25 to 10.5% moisture content so that you can do agglomerating, so you can get it into balls. And then the others is the dry stacking. It's sort of a misnomer in the industry. People hear the word dry and think it's coming out at 0% moisture, and that really isn't the case. We'll be going in, it could be anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6% moisture in those tailings. Enough of it so that we can sculpture and contour it as it's being discharged. So those are the two places that you're basically losing water, and that's what we call the makeup water. So there'll be water necessary to then replace that water as it's going through the system.